Y'all, so this was so good that I couldn't even put on no clothes yet. I had to come and discuss like what my takeaway was from my pastor's message this morning. And it's not just him, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been getting this like message like for the past month, and I think that when anything gets repeated and I see it repetitiously, I know that it's meant and it's sent from above for me to really and truly get. But what he said was, what my pastor said this morning was that sometimes people look at what a person has and they think like, oh wow. And they have a feeling of envy, or they just like, well, how did they get that? Or they don't deserve that. But the thing is you don't know how that person got that. So basically I had a little situation in the past month, and I just felt so betrayed. And I had like 4 or 5 people tell me like, well, you just do excellent stuff, and sometimes people can be envious of that. And I'm like, well, I don't have like everything in the world. Like, who would be envious of me? And my mom always says this, sometimes it's not about like what you have, it's about the way you handle yourself. It's about the way you bounce back from negative situations. And then I had to really, I thought I wasn't green no more, but I had to like open my eyes. Actually, one of my bosses said that. She was like, your eyes are still shut. And it's like, I feel like maybe I was brought up and raised very sheltered. So you feel like, well, if I'm this way and if I treat people accordingly and if I give people a chance, people will also give me a chance. And that's not necessarily the case. So when he said that, when my pastor said that this morning, like, you don't know the backstory. I think it's very, very important that we are transparent as humans and we speak our truths and we tell what we've been through. And it should be no shame. You can't judge. And I'm going to be honest, I was one who previously judged. I would, especially in relationships, I'd be like, she dumb. I never let a little bow wow me until it was me. And I walked in those shoes. And I feel that I learned the most from those people who and persons who've experienced things, because they have something to teach you. And you just don't know what it could be. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? You can look at a person and they look all put together, but you don't know what it is that they've underwent or what they went through. So, for example, as most of you guys know, if you follow me, I'm an educator. By day, I'm an educator. And so I wrote my book, In Love with a Dope Boy, and I was completely transparent, completely raw, completely told everything. Well, not everything, but I told a lot of the things that happened to me. So I had this situation last year where this woman, she said, I can't stand them fake happy people. Well, she didn't say people, she said bitches. But it was like, so I'm listening to my music, I'm listening to Chris Brown, and I'm like, And then I was like, wait a minute. And I didn't really hear the whole thing. I just heard her say fake. And I was like, oh no. And to me, it was like, you don't know what I've been through, okay? I may look put together, but you weren't there when I was crying every day for 2 years. And as a teacher, let me tell you, that is so difficult. And I think I've spoken about this before. As a teacher, you have to be there mentally, physically, and just have this like wall up, because you have to give the students the love and listen to their problems. And you're going through your own thing at home. And so that was very difficult for me for 2 years. For 2 years, I would teach all day. Nobody knew exactly what was going on. And when I would get in the car, I would take my eyelashes off and cry. You don't know the nights I cried, or the times I had to get on my knees and pray for forgiveness. Because a lot of people say like, oh, you don't know what I've been through. And that's true. It's very true. But it can also be cliche. But for me, like, if you read my book, I'm supposed to be in somebody's jail, under somebody's jail. I am supposed to be dead, but I'm here. And so that's kind of the reason that I go so hard and I don't mind sharing. And I hate when people like, everybody is not happy for you and you can't share everything on social media. And that's true. You cannot share everything on social media, because you do have people that will feel a certain way and won't be happy for you. That is true. But you also are inspiring somebody, okay? You're inspiring that person who is in your shoes. And it's not just about the age, because a lot of people equate wisdom with age. That's not necessarily true. You can learn from a baby. So I say all of that and kind of ramble on to say that don't judge people. Don't feel a certain type of way. Don't feel the need to be envious. Ask them when you are feeling a certain type of way, whether negative or positive, towards a person that you see, whether on social media or in the real world. Speak to them about how they got to where they are. Because most people will not mind sharing that with you if they come from a good place, and especially if they done been through some stuff. They want to share it. They want to give you the jewels. They want to give you the nuggets. So never look at a person and just see the outside. How did they get there? That's important. And so I had to take that and understand that, and just really register that in my spirit, because I was like, who would try to maliciously like attack me or try to harm me, and not harm in the physical sense, but harm like spiritually, and then I had to remember when they I'm serious. It was like 4 or 5 different people say like, you might notice that you got some haters, and I'm like, not little me, but it's true, but they don't know the whole story. So that's my little takeaway for today. Like, get to know people, get to know who they really are, their background, when you feel a certain type of way, and you might learn something. Anyway, y'all have a happy Sunday. I'm finna go get myself together.